What is going on? Become the Upline. Eric Sablon here. We got all three of us, Fabian Brown, Mr. David Breedlove, all here for Ask Me Anything. So we got Fabian down here and David over here. So guys, today's going to be an awesome day because we're going to talk about delivery. We're going to talk about onboarding. We're going to have questions about coaching calls, accountability, operations, and delivery. So hashtag live if you're coming in live, hashtag replay if you're coming in on the replay. And I'd like to welcome a brand new audience. If you guys don't know who David Breedlove is, David Breedlove is the man. We are actually streaming live on YouTube. So on David Breedlove's channel. So if you're coming in from David Breedlove's channel, what's up? Subscribe, share, like, do what you do. And if you got value from that, make sure you post some comments in there. So guys, I'm actually going to turn it over to Fabian for a minute, but I think he's actually going to turn it over to David. So I'm going to turn it over to Fabian. Hashtag live if you're coming in live. Hashtag replay if you're coming in on the replay. And I got some work to do.
All right. Eric's got some work to do. Ask me anything. So right away in the chat, you can start firing off those questions of yours. I want to get started with just first of all talking about what delivery is. And then I want to throw a curveball, and hopefully David will catch it. I think he will. So there's these things called containers in business, right? We call them containers. You may not call them containers. Other people may not call them containers, but we call them containers, right? And we frequently go through the containers when these Ask Me Anythings. We talk about foundations and fundamentals. That's like one container. And then we talk about your marketing system. That's another container. And then we talk about sales system, and that's a container. And the container that we're on this week is delivery. Delivery is the container right after you sell somebody or enroll somebody in your thing or your offer. And delivery is a part of the process where you have to deliver the promise that you just sold them. Okay? So delivery comes in all different kinds of forms. Like once you just sold them, for example, how are you going to make sure and guarantee the results that your people are bought from you, right? So you can do that in many different ways. Maybe you have, as soon as they buy, you have like an email sequence that goes out and tells them step 1, step 2, step 3. Maybe you have a chatbot sequence that fires something similar. Maybe you have a combination of both. Maybe a part of your delivery is, hey, we're going to meet once a week live in this class, and I'm going to teach you X, Y, and Z live in person. Maybe another part of your delivery is, hey, I have this library of content. Just go over there and press play. All these things are how you're going to help deliver the results. Delivery, right? Because if you do a good job at delivery, what happens next is people start to upsell. People start to give you testimonials, and then people start to refer you. So delivery is a pretty huge piece of the whole entire process when it comes to your business containers, right? And David Breedlove, the crazy dude who started all of this madness, this thing called Clever Money Makers, he is the dude that we talk to when it comes to all things delivery and all things implementation. Boom. And by the way, if you're checking this out live, I want you to go to that YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Steve. David Breedlove, Clever Money Maker. Okay. No S on the end, Clever Money Maker.
Yeah, the link is in the comments.
Sweet.
So you can just click on that link and it'll allow you to subscribe. And this will just be, this is a contingency plan. I'm not going to put my faith in another in any sort of online. So this is just another way for you guys to stay connected with us in the event that something happens with Facebook. This is an asset we've been underutilizing, and via StreamYard, this allows us to repurpose some content and put it in there too. So might as well, right?
Love it. That brings me to the curveball, David, and I think you're going to catch it. I think people have a good idea of delivery. If you have any questions about what delivery is or is not in the chat, go ahead and put some questions down, and maybe you're hip to it. But, Dave, we were talking offline a few moments ago, maybe half an hour ago at this point. We were talking about getting results. Can we maybe start off the conversation with why you feel maybe there's several reasons to answer this, but why do you feel that sometimes network marketers are not getting the results that they're looking for?
Well, so there's so many things at play there, right? And it really just depends on what phase of your business and what phase of your journey you're at, right? A lot of people, when they first join the industry, they're going to be at phase one, especially if they've never had any sort of experience in business and how it works and all these things. And you're really just kind of like going out there. Your goal is to get as many people to sign up for your opportunity, because hey, maybe personally you feel that this is a life-changing thing and it can help people produce results. But at the end of the day, when people come to me and they tell me, hey, like for example, say my goal is to by the end of the month be working with 20 people in my Luca business, or New Skin, or Herbalife, or whatever it is, and be making an impact. Okay, so what do you have for these people when they come in? Like, what's your system in order to produce results? And if you're relying on your back-end dashboard for your company to supply those results for you, then I would ask you to reflect on your own results, and if that's helping you. And at the end of the day, too, there might be some valuable content for people to have levels of success, utilizing maybe the training that is in your back office for your company. But what do you do? What do you do to help people get results quicker, right? Help people have clarity and be focused to actually produce a result, right? And typically
I got to ask you, what you're saying, Dave, I just want to make sure I'm tracking with you. You're saying that on top of what the network marketing company provides to deliver these said results, the individual network marketer should have something in addition to what that network marketing company provides? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So you can call this an onboarding system. You can call this your SLO, your self-liquidating offer, which is unique to you, right? And this is based on a strategy that you've put together to maximize the potential of maybe something that's already created, or maybe something that you've created to help people have real marketing skills, right? Be able to be set up for success. And typically, you want to be able to get people wins within their first 14 to 30 days. And a win can be perspective based, right? So just because you think a win might be making somebody $5,000, to somebody else, a win might just be, signing up 2 or 3 people a month. But what is your plan to make that happen? And how have you broken it down to guarantee that success? The only thing that you want to leave up in the air as far as your guarantee is if that person is going to play full out. You can't guarantee somebody else's work ethic, but if you have a proven business model that's duplicatable, then you have a system that can reproduce the same result over and over again, and you are now in the 3 percentile of network marketers that are successful. It's the difference. That's the difference. But we're not talking like, hey, this is 50-50. No, this is literally 97 to 3% difference. So it doesn't, I think a lot of people look at these things as like the entire mountain, right? You're selling people on financial freedom in the beginning, right? But instead of future casting somebody 20 years down the road where they're sitting on an island next to their private jet, find out what their goals are for 12 months. 12 months. So if you join my business opportunity and work, and I dedicate my time and I play full out for you, where do you see this being for in a year? Okay. And whatever that goal is, so say say they have the average $10,000 a month, right? What I found is that that's a goal for a lot of network marketers, but a lot of people first coming in, their realistic goal is they want to just be making what they're making currently so that they can stop doing what they're doing currently, right? So for most people, it's I want to make like $3 to $5 grand a month so that I can stop doing what I'm doing. Okay, so if that's your vision for 12 months from now, you don't want to just be making $3,000 to $5,000 a month. You want to be predictably making $3,000 to $5,000 a month. The only way to put predictability in your business is strategic planning and a step-by-step process to position you there. And the way that you get them on board for the beginning is, okay, so if that is the plan, 3 to 5 grand, or let's say even say it's 10 grand, whatever the goal is. So in order to be there in 6 months, we need to be at predictably, so let's say it's 5 grand. In 6 months, we need to be predictably at 2,500. Now, it doesn't seem so unobtainable, right? We're going to step another step back, and we're going to say, hey, in 90 days, to be at 2,500, we need to be at 1,250 a month. At 60 days, at 30 days, but you're intentionally starting with day one and positioning them week by week to get these small wins. So in their first month, they don't need to be making thousands of dollars a month. But if you can work and have a system to say, have them at $300 to $500 a month, predictably and reoccurring, and then put them in position for the next month to be around 1,000, and the next month to be around 1,250, and then in 6, and if they continue with the same progression and the same momentum, doing the same things that you've taught them, now in 6 months, now they are at 2,500. And in 9 months and in 12 months, they're at that goal that you set. But you are way ahead of the game. You're not waiting until 10 months in and being like, oh crap, now I have 2 months to be generating $5,000 a month, right? You started at day one, giving them small baby steps that over time, the interest and the value just added up to at 12 months, easily sliding in to 5 grand a month, right? And in reality, having this system in place can position them to be way higher. However, if the goal was $5,000 and you position them to be at $10,000 in 12 months, you have a customer for life now. And you have a business partner that's positioning you for that time freedom as well. It's about reverse engineering and being strategic from day one, instead of just looking at the giant mountain and thinking, how am I going to get to the top of this thing? We're not focused at the top. We're focused straight ahead, step by step. Before you know it, because you're so busy hitting these small goals, getting these small wins, before you know it, these things are adding up, and you're looking back and like now you have $1,000 a month coming in. Now you have $2,000 a month coming in, and you're just still focused straight ahead.
I got a follow up. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I know there was some comments coming in. I was just trying to review some stuff here.
Yeah. Do you want to hit the comments, or you want me to keep going on this topic? What do you want me to do? I can hit the comments, or I can keep going. You want to hit the comments? Comments are there.
Well, let's see if any are in alignment with what we're talking about before we switch topics. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. What do you think is the best way to do it? What are some common mistakes? Don, we can review this question in a second. I just want to stay on topic, but we'll get back to that one. What are some common mistakes when people are delivering their product? Okay, so the biggest common mistake I see is they're making it too difficult, right? So your system needs to be as simple as possible, especially in network marketing, because you have to assume that most people are not going to be able to achieve the same thing right away, right? So whatever your process is, it should be easily transferable. I recommend in the very beginning, you can use something like a chatbot. If that's too difficult, then I would even water it down to like Google Drive, right? Google Drive and Messenger chats are a great way to keep your small community informed and motivated. You can drop Zoom links in there for your weekly calls, stuff like that. But I would recommend that if techiness is your biggest obstacle, then understand that most people that you bring into your business are also going to have that issue, whether it's your coaching business or if it's your MLM. So you really want to make it as seamless as possible. The reason I like Google Drive is because you can just upload things right into there. You can be organized, put things into certain folders, and use things like Google Calendar to automate when you're going to have your weekly team meetings and stuff like that. So the biggest mistake that I see most people do is they sign up for softwares like ClickFunnels, DropFunnels, like all these different things, and they're creating a system that may work and it may work very well, but then they turn around and try and tell their teams to do the same thing, and their teams get distracted from their goal and get unfocused and start to get FOMO and all these other things instead of working towards the goal that you set in the beginning, which is whatever that is, getting the $5,000 by the end of the year, right? That should be your primary focus, is to keep people in alignment with what your promise to them was. So delivery and fulfillment come together. Delivery is going to be how you're delivering that content to them, and it has to be in a way that is going to fulfill the promise that you promised them. If the promise that you promised them wasn't, I'm going to make you into a super techie nerd, then don't try that, right? Just fulfill on the promise that you brought them in for. And if you are utilizing tools like that, we typically just allow people to use our tools and try to keep them off of it as much as possible so they don't blow up the internet by accident. Yeah, Google Drive is something, Evie. So Google Drive is something that I'm particularly looking very closely at as a way to seamlessly deliver content. It's free. It will keep your people informed. It will contact people and tell them when and where your Zoom calls are going to be, and they get the alert. So if you're not like email marketer, if you're not chatbot person, if you're not any of those things, you could legitimately set up a Google Calendar and allow people to upload that Google Calendar into their Google Calendar. And then you can just put your links in there when you're doing certain events, kind of like what we do. And then Google will alert them. Google will email them. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And it's, for me, I love it. I love it. My biggest thing right now is going back and reorganizing all the stuff that we didn't do in the beginning, because we didn't know just how much of a asset Google Drive could be past just being a place that we could store and back up our information, right? If I would have saw the potential back then of how easily a non-techie network marketer could turn this into a delivery system for their content and produce results for people for freaking free, back then I probably would have been way more intentional with my strategy on Google. Let's see, sometimes it's about the promise of support. When people are asking or coming to you and they're saying, hey, Kathy, I read your message, I saw your post, I want to learn more. You have to understand that the message that you are putting on your profile is a message that screams out, this is my promise to you. A promise is a guarantee that I will be there to support you, right? That does not mean you will hold their hand. That does not mean you will get on a call with them every time they're freaking out. What that means is that you have a system put in place that you will hold them accountable for, but it's your job, your promise, that the system that you've put in place delivers on that promise, and that if they bring something to you that isn't in there that can help them, that you take that insight and you can now add that to your system to help the next person, right? And also help them. So you're always doing things intentionally. I did free calls for a long time. And even when I started my program, I did a call called Inner Circle. I still do it. Now it's more intentional, but for almost a year, every time I started that call, where are you guys struggling in the program? A, because I want to help people in a group setting overcome their struggle, but B, I also wanted to know where my system, my delivery system, my onboarding system, my program, all these things, I wanted to hear firsthand from the people that were going through it where they struggled, so that I can now go in and make my system even better, right? So so there's that. I wanted to real quick just go back to Don so we don't forget that. Now this is a little bit of a different topic, but when using drop funnels or any kind of marketing system, is there a way for it to automatically be delivered to them, or do you have to do it automatically? Which do you think is the best? When using a drop funnels, which for those people that don't know, drop funnels is a similar system to ClickFunnels. If you don't know what ClickFunnels is, it's just where you can build websites and build membership sites for people to log in, buy your stuff, get your content, right? So when using drop funnels or any kind of funnel system, is there a way for it to automatically be delivered to them, or do you have to do it? I would imagine maybe you meant to say manually there at the end. So with a lot of systems, they're going to require you to have some sort of email marketing system in place. But for something like drop funnels and even ClickFunnels, typically they have in the back settings of any membership area or any purchase, one thing that they will allow you to bypass being an email marketer, which if you're not familiar with email marketing, I wouldn't suggest you jump right in bed with that. Most of these things, at least for purchases and signups for stuff like that, like drop funnels, if somebody signs up for our membership, I don't have to send out an email. I don't have to manually put them on. Drop funnels will send them that. But sometimes if you do need to troubleshoot, there's always going to be manual stuff. So this brings me back to what we talked about earlier, where so if this system is something that's working for you or that you're interested in, this can be a great way to automate your business. But just understand that although it's a tool, it's going to help you, it's also going to present problems, right? That you're going to have to overcome. And some of these problems might be figuring out, why your emails aren't going out, why people can't log in, why somebody could log in yesterday, but now they can't now. So that's why I'm suggesting things like Google Drive and being intentional from the very beginning and organizing it. In the event that something happens with your tool, you have a backup and you can keep people working while you troubleshoot, right? I always say that the last time you want to think of how to fix a problem is when you're in the middle of it, right? The last place you want to wonder what do I say to this person when they ask me how much? The last place you want to think about how I want to come up with the answer for that is while you're actually in the moment, right? So having these backups and having these systems in place, these will allow you to troubleshoot. Let's see here. And which do you think is the best way to do? So I would say both, if that helps. have a backup, have something that's simple like Google Drive, that you're hosting your content, that you have a backup of your content on there. And then, if you're working towards having something like drop funnels or something like that, then you can work towards that while you're still making money and while you're still helping people, right? The name of the game is make money first, understand the process first, and then work on making it bigger and better. And I know you are, Don. You are making money and you are making your things bigger and better. So you just keep playing full out. Let's see here. I want to create a course and have accessibility through a membership site. Should I only give access for a year or not forever? So what I would say is it depends on the level of commitment for the people that you're bringing in. So anything lower level, that's really up to your discretion. We give people lifetime access to our lower level things. But when we're working with people hands-on in our mentorship programs, those are for a certain amount of time and then access is cut. And the reason for that is because we want people to play full out during that time. And we want people to be intentional with that because we want them to continue working with us. If we were to just give them our stuff forever, then there's no sense of urgency to continue. So if you want to be predictably, right, at $5,000 a month, okay, if you want to be, then you have to be continuously positioning people to have higher levels and higher levels of commitment to continue working with you. So it's a mid-level course with group coaching. So if it's a mid-level course with group coaching, what I would say is that at a mid-level course, if you're not updating the content, if the content is the content, but you're just allowing them to be in group coaching, you could cut off the access for group coaching after 90 days or whatever your commitment is and allow them to keep the content. Or you could cut both. But I definitely would not let them continue being in the group coaching for lifetime if it's a 60-day program, a 90-day program, a 6-month program. There has to be some sense of urgency to maximize their time with you. Otherwise, people just will not take action. Doesn't matter how much you charge them. We've charged people $5,000 and they've not shown up because they just assume that they have it forever. And as much as I don't want to do that, at the same time, it's a commitment level. So what I would say for mid-level stuff, if you're including some level of group coaching, then if you're not continuously updating the content, then what I would do is I would cut the group coaching part, but at the end of that commitment, give them an offer, maybe even a sweetheart deal that would allow them to move up to the next level, continue their group coaching, get a higher level of training, but you're giving them a better deal since they committed at the mid-level range, if that makes sense.
I want to add 2 cents in there, please, and thank you. The difference in what David is saying is the difference between a course versus mentorship, right? Those are 2 distinctly different items. I have access to courses galore, probably $20,000 worth of courses that is sitting literally in a what do you call it, a bookmark on one of my browsers. And you know what's really funny about those $20,000 worth of programs? I can't tell you the last time that I visited them. I can't tell you the last time I logged into them. Thank God I have like my keychain with the passwords because I don't remember the passwords. Right. In my experience, when I bought courses, I got really excited about the course in the first 20, 30 days or so. And then I got shiny object and went on to the next thing. Right. Maybe every once in a while I'll go back to it, but more than likely not. But anytime I purchased mentorship, I knew that there was a time limit and I dove all the way in. And that's what separates people from getting big results and not getting big results. I had a sales call earlier today with a couple, well, but they weren't married, they were just business partners. But at the gist, I asked, well, I was getting some background information. What have you tried before? And it's funny because a lot of the things they purchased, a lot of courses they purchased, are the courses I purchased. We had a good laugh about that. We were even wearing the same shirt today. It was extra weird, David. We were wearing the same shirt, like just different colors. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, hey. So anyway, hey, for the second money. This is two dogs fighting. I'm gonna wrap it up by saying this, man. There is a huge disparity between buying a course and joining a mastermind or getting mentorship. Huge. It is the difference is huge. The results are huge. The commitment is huge. The difference is huge. So the people who are listening out there, just know that there is a difference between programs, courses versus mentorship versus masterminds.
I'm going to jump in on that really quick. And I'm just going to say this. We use the SAMS method. There's something called the SAMS method. Skills, accountability, and mentorship. Skills are we say this all the time. Skills are extremely cheap. Skills are all the courses that you bought that you put on the shelf. That you put on the shelf because it wasn't valuable. And I actually just had an epiphany. I wanted you to think about that as like a prospect for your MLM. When you're running through skills, that's what your MLMer is doing. He's just, if it fogs the mirror, prospect him. Your leaders come when you get the mentorship or the accountability. When you as a upline or you as a leader are calling and reaching out to that person, where are you at? What's going on? How are you doing? Where are you at? How you doing? It's the exact same thing in the delivery. So I'm tying this back to network marketing. But what gets paid the most and what you charge the most for as a coach is the mentorship, is when you've gone through the skills and you understand accountability. And now you become a coach and you're teaching mentorship. That's where you dig deep into your levels of your business. If you're doing MLM, if you're doing whatever you're doing, that's when you dig deep into your business and you find the shiny ones. You find the ones that want to work hard. You find those people because then you provide mentorship to those people. So the biggest problem with going out and buying a course and throwing money at your course, I say course very, very importantly, course is equivalent to skills. If you guys went to college, your course that you signed up for, you bragged about it. And you bragged about that you bought the book. And you bragged that the book was $150 for this book that you never opened or never read. And then you returned it for a quarter of the price. Because you got rebate on the money for returning that book. At least when I went to school, that's what you could do. And I didn't go very long, so I don't know how, I know that you're allowed to do that. Return the books. So what I'm getting at is there's so many courses on the shelf that you guys have purchased, that you guys have showed up for, that you guys have thought, this is the one. But if you look inside our group, if you look inside Become the Upline, if you look at the students that are there, if you look at the Xanders, Xander and Deb, if you look at the Iverias, if you look at all of those people that have that have taken the next step to build something, they had a course and they had skills. They showed up every day for accountability. Where am I at? What's my problem? Fabian, tell me what my problem is. Tell me where I got to go from here. And now they're elevating themselves to mentorship because now they're teaching those people. It's the exact same cycle in all of your guys' network marketing companies that you should aspire to be. Leaders are not ranks. I just want you guys to think about that. Leaders are not ranks. Leaders are positions that you develop more and more people.
So Don's question is, so what you're saying is you need to be 100% crystal clear on what they're getting, the time frame, and that they only have that much time before they sign up. So what I would say to that is it depends on what level you were bringing them in at. Anything other than our mentorship program is lifetime access, because those programs are designed to position them for certain levels. And typically, people that are only in position to buy lower level programs, it's one of two things, right? Either they legitimately aren't in a place time-wise or money-wise to get that result, and those levels are kind of learn as you go, right? You're teaching yourself. I'm not going to tell anybody that they only have 90 days to teach them a system that took me years to figure out for myself. However, when you're working with me, our time needs to be intentional in order for me to reproduce at a higher level, right? So if you are telling somebody that this is a 90-day mentorship program, then that needs to be the commitment. If you're telling somebody this is a lifetime mentorship program, then it's a lifetime membership. It's what your offer is, right? If you say, hey, it's 90-day mentorship, but you can keep the course forever, then that's what the offer is. This is your business, right? You can do whatever you want. Absolutely. And that's up to you. Track your progress and see if this works, if this is a good model for you. If it's working, it's a great model for you, then roll with it if you're happy with that. What I can only tell you is what's worked with me specifically, right? In my mentorship program that we were in, which was a 90-day program that we paid $8,000 for, the first 2 months of the program, we switched platforms. I had to not only build a high ticket program, but I also had to redo our low ticket course because we were switching from another platform to a new one, and we wanted to make it better and charge more for it. That took a month. The second month, I had a big life change, unexpected, where I split up with my child's mother, and I had to go shopping for a house and figure out a new living situation, and wanted to, and had to, life happened, right? In a 90-day program, one thing I can guarantee you is that life is going to happen, right? There's no perfect time for a 90-day, a 6-month, a year-long program. There's no perfect time. However, at the end of my 60 days, I was feeling very discouraged. I could have very well just thrown my hand and said, hey, this isn't fair. But no matter what I said, no matter what I complained about, no matter if I complained or anything like that, or the questions I was putting out, which I was, why is this happening? Why can't I keep this content? I haven't been able to go through it all. Life has happened to me. I was held accountable. In the third month of our mentorship program, we did $45,000 in sales because we got hyper-focused on utilizing and maximizing the time we had left. Because what else? What other choice did I have? I'm grateful that was the only, it wasn't the only choice that I had, but I'm grateful out of the two choices I had, that was the one that we chose to do. And that would have only happened if I only had 30 days left. If I had another 6 months, do you think we would have played full out that 30 days? When I was trying to find a house to buy, I don't know if anybody was here for the first 5-day challenge. I know a lot of you guys were. The house I was in was an Airbnb that I rented for a month while I was trying to shop for a home in the Poconos in the middle of the height of the real estate peak. life happened. I was held accountable. As a mentor, as a coach, holding your people accountable is number one. If I don't hold people accountable to their commitment, then I'm not helping them, right? It's supposed to be painful. This isn't supposed to be all fun. However, I'm not unique. I am not special. Eric is not special. Fabian's not special. We had 30 days left. We had two options: either try and copy as much of this content and hope we can put it together without the coaching and waste our time trying to pull as much of it off in the meantime, or take a strategy, work with our coaches, and do our best to maximize the time. The funny thing is that the 5-day challenge that we were learning was just one strategy. It was just one strategy out of the whole program, right? And it's just one strategy of our program. The idea here was that we got super focused on one strategy. Super focused on one strategy, right? We broke it down into a 2-week promo where intentionally every day we knew what our goal was. And since we were so dialed in on that process, and it was broken down step by step, we were able to produce the result. Now, just so everybody knows, I'm not special. I asked my coach, I said, how do I keep from messing this up? Dave, don't ask those stupid questions and get to work. You shouldn't even have time to ask those questions, right? You should be so focused in on the process and hitting this goal that you should not have time to even doubt the process, right? Trust the process. It works. It's working. It's worked for so many others. It will work for you. Do it, right? So for anybody here, you don't need to master the entire program if you're in our program or any program. Dial in on a strategy and get super good at it. If you're not good at it right now, you haven't done it enough. Do it again, do it again, do it again. I just want to make sure that I don't put people through what I've been through before. So the best way to not put people through what you've been through before is to break down what happened before and solve the issues of those problems, right? I didn't want people to spend a year in network marketing trying to teach other people how to use platforms like ClickFunnels. So I figured out a solution to that. Let me teach them how to use Facebook as if it were a ClickFunnels, as if it were a DropFunnels. It's free, it's simple, it's duplicatable. It was a turning point. See, I've taken so many courses in the past that because of I want mentorship so I can get to the next level. So courses are great. I've learned a lot from courses. The problem is that you cannot replace having somebody there to help connect the dots, right? One thing I would say is that a good coach will not do the work for you. They will work with you. Doesn't look like we have any more questions. Marketers are problem solvers, people. We all have problems. We all have painful points in our process here, right? If you can solve your own problems and dial in on what you did in order to solve, and that doesn't mean that just because you're in a mentorship program or something like that, you're not going to have problems, right? However, look at like the resources that are provided, master them, and find solutions for those problems so that we can turn around and now you have something to teach somebody else. How do you make sure that it's defined as a course or whatever? So what I would always say is a course is, are you somebody that likes to teach yourself a proven process by going through content that's strategically placed in order to get you results? Or are you somebody that's willing to invest a little bit more to have the program plus mentorship, right? Plus somebody to guide you through the process as well. So I was on a call with somebody the other day and they were looking at a course for $2,000. And I just simply asked the question. I said, do you have $2,000 at hand to buy a course currently? It's a stretch, but yes. And I said, if you have $2,000 to invest in a course, you might be in position to invest in that person's mentorship program or stretch yourself a little bit farther to 100% join, right? So if you can stretch to get to $2,000, more than likely you can stretch a little bit more to join the mentorship program, or at least get on a call to see if that mentor will work with you at that level and what their offer would be for you at that level. Because more than likely, you're going to get the course plus the mentor, the person that created the course, right? There's no more guesswork there. The one thing about a course is there's still going to be guesswork. Everybody here, if you stay in this thing long enough, you're going to get to a point where you're just going to be like, I'm just tired of guesswork. I don't want to guess anymore. I want to know, and I want to trust, and I just want to get results. So one thing I will say is that whatever you decide to invest in, always make sure that you are working with somebody that has duplicated their results throughout their community, right? Other people that they've worked with have been able to have the same outcome. Because just because I can sell $100,000 in a year, if my process isn't duplicatable and I can't transfer that, that doesn't mean that I can help you. And the only way you can tell that is by looking at the client's results, checking out the community. So whoever you decide, if you are at that position, you just want to look at their community. Are their customers happy? Are they staying? Are they giving testimonies? Are they showing up and playing full out? If that's the case, then I feel like you're qualifying that person as a good coach, as a good mentor. Don, what I can say about you is I feel that you have so many working pieces that I really feel you can help people get results. I think pushing past some of the barriers of just maybe fear that you're not going to be able to do that, those things you have to push through them, right? You have to push through them, because the only way you're going to be able to do it is just to go out and make that offer, right? Make that offer. And I know it can be scary because you don't want to make that offer until you're sure, right? Until you're sure. But I'm telling you, like, one strategy designed correctly can change somebody's life. You don't need a course of 100 videos to help somebody, right? You just need a system that's proven that produces results. All right, fellas.
Mic drop.
My neck hurts.
You got anything, Mr. Brown?
What? Get out of here. Did you hear David tonight?
I know.
I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go back to my
I popped in for a second and then got out.
Yeah, I said a couple one-liners.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody here tomorrow. Well, not here, all of us students. Ellie, thanks for jumping on. Don, thanks for jumping on. Playing full out. Kathy, Leonard, Beth, Sue, nice to see you. Dawn, Evie, Helen, awesome. So, guys, here's the big thing. Tomorrow, all of you students, we'll see you tomorrow for a coaching call. And if you've never taken advantage of a day pass, if you're a student or you're new to the group and you've never taken advantage of a day pass, I would highly suggest you reach out to whoever invited you to the group or one of us, or go to the welcome post that you were tagged in. And above there, after we give you a few free things, you can click on Get Day Pass. We'll give you a day pass, and I would suggest you totally do the day pass on Friday, because Fabian is going to come with the heat on Friday. So I would suggest, if you're new to this group, register for a day pass. It's absolutely free. You can see what our upper end coaching program is like. And there's only, a certain amount of spots. So I don't like to do over 50 people in the room. So, because you have to scroll back and forth, but there's a couple spots available. And if I were you, and I'm teetering and thinking, you know what, these guys make a lot of sense. These guys sound like they know what they're talking about. I just want to get a little bit closer. Well, here's the opportunity to get a free pass to come check us out and get some really, really intense training. You guys are all lucky. I have not taken down the 5-day challenge, but it will be coming down soon. That's all I got to say. We'll see all of you students tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to David's YouTube channel. There's a lot of free stuff there, and we are out.